at the time I'm recording this, the Oscars will be in 3 days. So I wanted to do my own Oscar predictions. I've got a list pulled up now of all the nominees eligible to win Sunday night, and I want to do not only what I think will win, but what I also think my personal choice of who should win. So I'm just going to start right here. Best visual effects. I'm not going to read all the names of all the people. I'm just going to read the movies that are nominated for categories like this. The nominees are Blade Runner 2049, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Kong Skull Island, Star Wars The Last Jedi, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Who I think needs to win this, both should and probably will be Blade Runner 2049. They did a fantastic job at recreating the look of Ridley Scott's original, and that's what I thought was just amazing about that. So yeah, Blade Runner 2049 should win, and I think it will win. Next up is Best Film Editing. The nominees are Baby Driver, Dunkirk, I, Tonya, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Out of this one, I could see Baby Driver winning this for being an action movie with all the action set pieces in that, the chase scenes. Do I think it will win? Honestly, no, I think Dunkirk will win, and that is also the one that I think should win. Dunkirk being a movie that was told out of order and told on these different lengths of time, editing was the best part of that movie. The editing is what made that movie one of the best of the year. So I'm going to say deserves to win and should win is Dunkirk for Best Film Editing. Best Costume Design. The nominees are Beauty and the Beast, Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, and Victoria and Abdul. I did not get to see Phantom Thread, and I'm probably not going to get to see Phantom Thread by Sunday night. So there are going to be several awards on here that I am not going to be able to pick that one for. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and pick that one because it's literally a movie about a dressmaker. So I could see that one being the definite one to win costume design. And yeah, I'm going to pick that one will win, and that one deserves to win just solely on that because I'm probably not going to be able to pick Phantom Thread for anything else since I just have not seen it. Best Makeup and Hairstyling. The nominees are Darkest Hour, Victoria and Abdul, and Wonder. Wonder, of course, they did the thing with Jacob Tremblay and his facial scarring. Victoria and Abdul, I don't know what makeup is hairstyle is going on into that, but Darkest Hour is the one that I think that one will take it because they clearly have got all this stuff plastered onto Gary Oldman. It's actually kind of funny watching Gary Oldman play Winston Churchill because he's literally wearing like the kind of fat suit that Eddie Murphy wore as the Nutty Professor, and like that's the one I think is going to win that. And it honestly probably should win, although Wonder they did a really good job at making Jacob Tremblay look like that. Best Cinematography, the nominees are Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, and The Shape of Water. This is one that's going to be hard to pick exactly which one. What will probably win is honestly, I could see Shape of Water. Yeah, even though stuff like Dunkirk and Blade Runner have got this epic scale on them where the camera's clearly showing these huge landscapes, I could see them giving that to Shape of Water with it being having the most nominations for the Oscars. I could see Shape of Water winning that. Honestly, no, that's another one. But for me, if I had to pick, I would say Blade Runner 2049 needs to get that one too because that was amazing. Just the visual aspects was the best part of that movie. Best Production Design. The nominees are Beauty and the Beast, Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, and The Shape of Water. This one, will probably, yeah, this one will probably go to Blade Runner 2049 too, and I think that one deserves to win as well. Um, yeah, it was amazing. It is a visually amazing movie. It is. Best sound mixing and best sound editing. These I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what they look for in best sound editing and sound mixing. I'm sure I could probably look it up. I just never understood these two at all. But if I had to say, I'm gonna say Dunkirk because it's the war movie. There's a lot of I guess they make sure stuff isn't too loud. I don't know that one. I'm gonna say Dunkirk for both of those. Yeah, I just don't know anything about those. Best original song. The nominees are Mighty River from Mudbound, Mystery of Love from Call Me by Your Name, Remember Me from Coco, Stand Up for Something from Marshall, and This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. The winner of this is probably going to be This Is Me, and this one makes me sad because out of all of the categories, this is the one that is going to go to the weakest nominated in its category. This Is Me, I have not gotten to see Greatest Showman yet. I've listened to the music from it, and I understand it's from the people who wrote the music for La La Land, a movie I absolutely loved. I thought it was one of the best of 2016. This is not as good as the music from La La Land because This Is Me sounds well as all the songs on the soundtrack sound less like La La Land and more like Glee, like Fox's Glee Club. It's just this aimed at the teenage crowd music that I did not care for the song. I've listened to several of the songs and I just do not care for them. Um, the other four are fantastic. I've listened to all of them. I think easily, but what if I was grading on my favorite of the songs, the one I like the most, I would probably say either Mighty River or Mystery of Love. Um, I like the sound of both of those. It's Mystery of Love has that indie sound that I kind of that I love in movies like Call Me by Your Name. I love that sound. And then Mighty River, it's Mary J. Blige. Who doesn't like Mary J. Blige? She's always fantastic. And but I would say that what deserves to win, just because of how it was used in the movie, Remember Me from Coco is used several times in the movie, and it's used in one of the very last time they use it, it is one of the most powerful scenes in that movie. And that, yeah, it almost brought a tear to my eye. It was a really good scene that used that song. So what will probably win, This Is Me. But what deserves to win, Remember Me. Okay, best original score. The nominees are Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, Star Wars The Last Jedi, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Out of all these are all nominees. The people who are nominated for them: Hans Zimmer, Johnny Greenwood, Alexandre Desplat, John Williams, and Carter Burrell. They are all very experienced in scoring movies. And if I had to pick who's going to win and who deserves to win, I would have to say Alexandre Desplat. He did the for Shape of Water. It was really, he really did score that movie very well. I did like that music a lot. It's easily the most memorable of all these scores. Okay, I'm just gonna skip the shorts: live action short, animated short, documentary short. I'm just gonna skip those. I will do best documentary feature length. The nominees are Abacus, Small Enough to Jail, Faces Places, Icarus, Last Men in Aleppo, and Strong Island. This is one I'm not really going to be able to pick what I think should win. I can only do that based on what they're about, judging by what they're about. I can't tell you how good each one of these are. If I had to pick which one was going to win, it'll probably be Faces Places, about the directors Agnes Varda and JR, a guy just named JR, traveling around France and looking at the different communities and villages in France. And Agnes Varda, she's also up for an honorary award Sunday night. And I think that's why that will probably win Best Feature Length Documentary. Um, which one should win? I don't know. Sure, why not Faces Place? I didn't watch any of them, so I can't tell you. Um, Last Man in Aleppo, apparently about, hold on a second, is apparently about the Syrian civil war, which I think would be something very relevant for our time. Uh, that one maybe that one, either, I don't know. This is one, like I said, I don't know much about. These are categories I don't know anything about. I'm talking about stuff I don't know about. Okay. Best foreign language film. Another one. I watched foreign language films this year, and it's always the ones I watch that I do happen to watch that don't get nominated. Endless Poetry, nowhere. Didn't get shit. Best foreign language film. The nominees are A Fantastic Woman from Chile, The Insult from Lebanon, Loveless from Russia, On Body and Soul from Hungary, and The Square from Sweden. The only one of these that I've gotten to see, that I'll have a review up for soon, is The Square. And I haven't done my review for that one yet, but I can go ahead and tell you, fuck that movie. It will, it might win. I don't know if it will, though. If I had to guess, though, I would have to say, from what research I've done on each of these, I would say maybe A Fantastic Woman from Chile would win. From what research I've done on each of the nominees, this one is about apparently a transgender woman, who I think is supposed to be like keeping her gender identity a secret from the family of her lover, and I could see that being something that the Academy would pick, something very modern for our times. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what should win, because the Square was bullshit, and I haven't seen any of the other ones. Now, my next category is Best Animated Feature Film. This is a shoo-in. This is the most predictable category of the night. The nominees are The Boss Baby, The Breadwinner, Coco, Ferdinand, and Loving Vincent. This was one of the most puzzling categories we had this year, where literally one of them was almost unanimously disliked, I think. Boss Baby, for whatever reason. Boss Baby was not just the only other animated film released this year. We had the Lego Batman movie. We had Captain Underpants. There was literally the anime film Your Name was released this year, and they chose they went with Boss Baby. The Breadwinner and Loving Vincent are the typical nominees, and Coco are the typical nominees. The Breadwinner, the foreign animated film. Coco, the Disney animated film, and Loving Vincent, the adult one, the one made for an adult audience. And then they gave it to Boss Baby and even Ferdinand, which I don't know. Who cares? There were better nominees in this, but the easiest category of the night is certainly this one, Coco. Coco deserves to win, and it's going to win. And that's all about it. Yeah, 2017 was not a memorable year for animation at all. Okay, now we're into the big five categories. Best Adapted Screenplay. The nominees are Call Me By Your Name, The Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound. This one for me is kind of a hard one. There were two fantastic movies that, right off the bat, I will say, I liked all these movies. I saw all five of these, and I loved every single one of them. It's up between, for me, what will win, Call Me By Your Name and Mudbound. I kind of think Call Me By Your Name. I think, because I don't know how many awards he's won, but I know James Ivory, who wrote the screenplay, won in some other places. I could see him winning for that. Do I think it should win? The thing about it is it and Mudbound were both two of the best movies I watched this past year, and I would say It's close. That is close. I could tell you what I think should win here, and it might change by Sunday night. Um, I'm gonna say sure. Call Me by Your Name should win. Why not? The coming of age, sexual awakening story set in Italy. Sure, that one. Yeah, that would beat the movie about racial divide and inequality in Mississippi set in the 40s. Uh, yeah, Call Me by Your Name was probably more of a crowd pleaser, I think, than Mudbound was. But those were both fantastic movies, and that is a close category right there. Best original screenplay. The nominees are The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This is a hard category too, because those are all not just were all those that I like all those movies, but those are all ones that are really celebrated and have several nominees, have several nominations. I would, except for the Big Sick, I think that's its only nomination. I think. I thought that was a great movie though. That was a fantastic movie. I could see Get Out winning the way people really do like Get Out. Um, um, if I would, in purely on imagination, Shape of Water deserves to win. I'm gonna say what's going to win. I will say Get Out will win. Um, Three Billboards is close, I think, but I'll say Get Out is going to win. Meanwhile, what I think should win, Shape of Water. Just that was because that was just a pure imagination put on screen. That because it really was an interesting movie, one of a kind movie. Um, Now it's the acting categories. Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are Mary J. Blige for Mudbound, Allison Janney for I, Tonya, Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water. Um, I would have to say who will win and who I overall think should win. Allison Janney for playing LaVonna Golden, uh, Tanya Harding's mother in the movie. She was fantastic. She was very domineering and critical and abusive, emphasis really abusive, and I think she'll probably win because she was fantastic. I loved Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird playing also mother. That's what's interesting about these nominees this year is three of the nominees in Best Supporting Actress are nominated for playing mothers. I thought that was a really interesting similarity all the nominees had. The other one being Mary J. Blige for Mudbound. But yeah, Allison Janney I think will win, and she deserves to win for Best Supporting Actress. Best Supporting Actor, the nominees are Willem Dafoe, The Florida Project, Woody Harrelson, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Richard Jenkins, The Shape of Water, Christopher Plummer, All the Money in the World, and Sam Rockwell, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This one is interesting because I noticed that there's a lot of similarities between the Golden Globes and the Oscars, and I don't know if this is the case. The only difference they had was Woody Harrelson was not nominated at the Golden Globes. Instead, Armie Hammer was for Call Me by Your Name. And there was a thing going around where Armie Hammer criticized the Academy Awards for last year over when Armie Hammer was in Birth of a Nation by Nate Parker. And he was criticizing the Academy for not nominating him, blaming it being based on his rape accusations that proved to be illegitimate or false or whatever you want to call it. And I kind of think, I don't know if this is the case. I'm not attacking anybody over this, but I think maybe they didn't nominate him. They got mad about what he said about them and didn't nominate, and just said, fine, fuck you, you don't get animated or nominated. So they nominated Woody Harrelson instead. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not saying that is what happened, but I could see it. But out of the nominees, I think Willem Dafoe is going to win for Florida Project, playing the manager of a motel in Florida. who becomes the central part of all these residents' lives. It was a great movie, and he did fantastic in it. If I had to pick who deserved to win, I would say Sam Rockwell for Three Billboards. He gave one. Not only was his performance really good, and Sam Rockwell has been one of the most underappreciated actors I think working today. He had one of the most fascinating overall character arcs in the movie, where you go from resenting this guy at the beginning of the movie, seeing him as one of the antagonists of the film, and then by the end going totally on his side, and seeing his relationship with Frances McDormand. That it was fantastic, and I think that Willem Dafoe will win, but I think Sam Rockwell deserves to win. Yeah, that's my picks. And the nominees for best leading actress: Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for Three Billboards, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep for The Post. I think who stands a really good chance is, it's going to be up between Sally Hawkins and Frances McDormand. Sally Hawkins playing a deaf woman, she was fantastic. Getting totally by the movie with just facial expressions, sign language, body movements. She was really good in that movie. She had some fantastic chemistry with Doug Jones, who I'm pissed didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor. That was easily the biggest snub of this year, was Doug Jones not getting a Best Supporting Actor. Underneath all that prosthetics and suits, and having to do the same thing she was doing pretty much. But yeah, I think she stands a really good chance. But who I think is going to win and deserves to win is Frances McDormand. Her performance gives one of the most pain-inducing performance, and I say that in a good way. This mother suffering from grief, this mother who never got closure, who never got the answers she's looking for. You feel her pain in this, and Frances McDormand, she brings you almost to tears in this dark comedy. Yeah, I would say Frances McDormand, I think, will win, and she deserves to. I thought, she gave maybe even overall the best performance, man or woman. She gave probably the best performance of the year. Best leading actor the nominees, are Timothée Chalamet for Call Me by Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, and Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel Esquire. Out of these, who will probably win is Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman will probably end up finally getting his long-awaited Oscar, and he should. He was easily the best part of Darkest Hour. Overall, I haven't gotten to see Phantom Thread again, so I can't tell you if Daniel Day-Lewis should win or not. Gary Oldman will probably win, but aside from his performance, Darkest Hour was easily my least favorite of the nominees for Best Picture. But he was the best thing about that. He'll probably win. Who I think should win, I would love to say Daniel Day-Lewis, because Daniel Day-Lewis is terrific in anything. He is always good. He's won so many awards in the past for fantastic performances. But I don't know if he should win, because I haven't seen the movie. Out of the four actors who were in movies that I did see, I'm going to say Timothée Chalamet. I thought if he was to win Sunday night, he'd become the youngest actor to ever win Best Leading Actor. He'd beat Adrian Brody, who was 28. Timothée Chalamet's 22. He would beat Adrian Brody, who was, I believe, 28 when he won for The Pianist. And, Timothée Chalamet, he was fantastic in Call Me by Your Name, playing this kid this young man who, you see this blooming sexuality. You see he starts this affection for his dad's older assistant, who's also a man, but he's also got this girlfriend on the side. So it was a lot like something like Beach Rats, which I reviewed earlier this past year. He was great in it. He really was great in it. There are scenes where there are long single takes that he has to hold stuff out. There's a scene where he's just lying on a bed holding this think it was swimming trunks. There's some weird shit in this movie. I will say that there's some weird stuff. There's a scene with a peach you've probably heard about if you've been researching the movie. He was fantastic in it. I think he's going to be one of our, in a couple of years, he's going to be one of our big actors. He is. This is the movie that made him, and he's going to get more attention for this. Best director and best picture, I'm not going to say, because I'm planning on doing my own top 10 list of the best of the year that I'll have up before Sunday night. And so, and on that, I'll tell what I think the best picture is, because it will be the best movie of the year. So I'm not going to spoil that yet. So you can just watch that until when I put that up. So until then, yeah, that's my picks. My picks of who should win and who will probably win. I'll have plenty more videos up soon of my reviews that I'm planning. I'm planning stuff. I've got stuff coming. I'll just put it that way. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Logan D. McCoy, and this is Real McCoy Reviews.